Ki khubor ka Advocacy TV ka umdi basnyam bat penjaslian. Rupa Premium Meghalaya.
Ka Seng Kynthei Unitarian Union North Eastern India haka arpsantrik unai weng arjapsan kalpelong ya kajing aji kai banyada ya ki Jingshah Thombor ki Kynthei ki Khynnah haka jing yalang kabralong State Convention Center Shillong. Hakani ka singi lasa kilang dau principal secretary katrat ka koi kakyak sorkat jila Sampat Kumar bat kiwi-kiwi.
In a world full of many types of violence, violence against women and children is one of the worst. We pledge that we will fight against violence of this kind. We pledge that we will never be a part of violence against women and children. We will also report to concerned authorities if we find these types of crimes being committed. We pledge to respect and support human life in any kind of situations. We pledge to work together for the betterment of our society so that we can progress in peace and goodness. God will be with us. Help us. Amen.
When actually Kang Mukim and Dr. Nombri, former Dean of Northeastern University, when they came and met me, I was really, inspired by the way actually the Unitarian Church was working. I really wanted to know a little deeper. That's why I said, like, okay, let me come and, so this is a very interesting, it's supposed to be this kind of a program that they're organizing, to really impact the whole society, so I in fact, I came here essentially to learn, what is that you're doing differently. I'm so glad that you have been working for the last 11 years. This is amazing. I think every year you are celebrating this 25th October as a, an important day against, violence against women and children, I think, and girls. It is so important. I think there is a, and also, I also was looking at what is this white ribbon campaign, it's like we have, I think it's men against the violence, that is a very interesting thing. In fact, all the movements in the history, they were successful only when, both have come together. For example, when there was a civil liberty movement, in US, when blacks were discriminated and blacks were put into a lot of violence, and only when the whites joined the blacks, then actually the abolition happened. So it's a very important thing that, it is the men coming forward and, working against the violence is so important. So that's why I really like what your prayer, I was deeply, you said we should keep the differences apart, and, we need to really, come together, and to really, the life is a sacred thing, and it's given by the God, and, we really have to really purposefully, use every bit of the life to do good and to do only good. So I think to do that, I think this particular campaign is really, important, and I'm so glad, because you're also really concerned about what is happening, and then how actually we need to mobilize everybody, because There is no woman. I think I was listening to that speech of our global sister, and like where we were talking about no one should live with fear. Another thing is that violence is something unacceptable. Why somebody actually violence is a cowardly act, I would say. It is something that's not like a courageous act, because you are, so I think violence is a very bad act, if you have. So I think that is something. There is a one thing that I think you are trying to bring a lot of awareness through this. So I just wanted to share, why I also have share few ideas around how to actually address this violence in a more scientific way. Of course, we are doing already in a more community or mobilization way, but in more. So I have had this opportunity of studying the science of early childhood development at Harvard University. So where actually there is one important new there actually there is a lot of research is happening now very recently. What the research says is that, in fact, they also have proven is that any violence will have a very long-term impact. So, and it starts very early. So, one is that there is if you beat children, let's say, it will lead to, there is a concept called toxic stress. So the toxic stress can affect children's, the brain growth. And then when the children go to school, they'll not be able to do well. At the same time, at the end, they can get into other problems because they have seen something, they have been affected by something. So they can actually get into, substance use. They can get into some other problems. So their lives are, really, gets affected. So one of the things that we really, in fact, we were doing a study recently we started an early childhood development project in Meghalaya and we asked one university, John Hopkins University, and also they're doing some study. One questionnaire is that, is there any corporal punishment in the schools? Anybody is beating children? In fact, to my surprise, it is there. I thought it is not. I think it may be in mainland India, not in Meghalaya, but even in Meghalaya, it is there. This practice. So I think we need to really address these issues. We should never, never actually even school child. It is even scolding somebody with raised voice also is a violence. So I think maybe to that level, I think we need to really understand, importance of this. And so what that's why I'm one of the important things what we needed is that we need to really, build our society with good practices like this. I think the way the church is doing, I think it's ideal, admirable way that you are doing. And if every parent can understand this importance of raising children without any violence, with a lot of care, lot of nurturing care, you call it nurturing care, if you do it, then the children will grow. When they grow, I think they will be completely different. They will never indulge in violence. They will be more respectful, So it all starts early. So my request to, the Seng Kynthei, in fact, is that maybe in all your 40 churches, maybe we can actually work together. In fact, my team from Early Childhood Development Project is also here. They would like to work with you. And maybe, we can actually impact, guide positive parenting and see that in our church area, like wherever you are working with this concept, the no incident of violence is recorded. We can measure it at the end of the year. We'll start this one and see, we can also measure how things are changing at the families. We can also do some small study saying that what is in the beginning, how is it? So is there any change because of, this awareness generation, counseling, training, understanding the concepts? If they know that it is affecting their children, parents will change. They might not be aware of it because they learn from their own, other circumstances. Most of the things they learn from by seeing the neighbors, or like by seeing something else. But these days, I really like what you said. Even the digital people are learning from something from the digital. In your welcome speech, you mentioned about it, how digital technology is also creating challenges in terms of bad practices. So maybe we can actually really educate everybody on these things, and so that the behavior of the population would change significantly. So that's one idea that actually I would like to maybe request you. In fact, in fact, similar kind of a thing we did with we are doing with ABDK Baptist Church in Garo Hills. I also, one like you, there was one women's conference was going on. I went inside and I requested them, can we actually work on this? They're all, they're also women pastors are there in Baptist Church. I saw them. Women pastors are also there. So I think there is a lot of work I think we can do together with the government and the church, and especially on this particular important issue of really there should not be any violence. There should not be. It's a something that and that too. And if we do this one, I think we can really tell the whole world how a matrilineal society is actually giving a very important message to the whole world. Because that's again, whatever we do here, it will be seen with a lot of attention. Not only it will inspire people here, but also it will inspire the whole world. So I think we are in a, I think whatever the initiatives that you have taken up now, I think it will go a long way. And we really wanted to encourage from the state side and get as much as support that actually that we can actually generate for especially the most vulnerable sections of the society, that is women and children. And children, if you really take care of children can actually do amazingly well during this first initial period. In fact, we are actually organizing a lot of initiatives under this early childhood development mission, other than counseling the parents, making sure that how do you actually behave, how do you actually provide a more nurturing care, how do you spend more time with the children, how do you actually give more. So if they do, their intelligence IQ, you call it grows exponentially, and they will do extremely well in the school and they'll get good jobs. So I'm just saying, so it's a very, very important thing. And there's another thing we are also looking at. There is a stunting is a problem in Meghalaya. Stunting means children are not getting adequate height, especially during the first 2 years, because that's first 2 years. If you're not getting the height measurement, is essentially for the brain development. So first 2 years are very important. So there again we brought some IIT Bombay professors and teaching all frontline functionaries. Everyone is actually taking a test to know about this entire thing, so that they can teach every mother, every child about how to feed children. Because that's again, if you feed properly, you will not have stunting. So currently what is happening is our mothers are not able to, I think that understanding was not there. They're doing something, but they're not doing it properly. That's why child is not getting proper nutrition. So that's again a very, very important thing that everyone is actually learning about it, so that this will go to, maybe this is also another program that we can see that in this entire church area there is no stunting, no child is stunted. Like that also can be actually experimented. So a lot of things Seng Kynthei can do. In fact, my journey in Meghalaya started with Seng Kynthei. when I was SDO civil Makurwat. So one day they came, Seng Kynthei along with the Mantri, of Makurwat came, Bahesh, and they said we wanted you to come and stop this illicit liquor. So they used to call me in the middle of the night at 12 o'clock, and we used to go as a magistrate and check those Ïathir, what is called Yeah. Check those. So I really admired their spirit. And thereafter, we built a school for the Maharam school along with all self-help, we generated, because the school building was getting, dilapidated. So Seng Kynthei said, no, we should actually construct a new school. Those days, government doesn't have much money. I'm just saying. So we had to contribute, pull up all the money and, constructed a school there. So Seng Kynthei has that kind of a power of, really, as I think you rightly mentioned, they have such an enormous power, enormous, I maybe because of Seng Kynthei idea only, today our self-help group model also working so well. So in Meghalaya is one of the best, states, one of the best run self-help group program. They are managing 1,000 crores of money today, all our self-help groups put together. That is the money that is actually, they are doing it so well with so much, confidence, and they are changing the lives of their families. So with this, I think small few words, actually, I really thank the organizers for inviting me here. And also we will work together this, and also I'm seeing Reverend Thombor is also here. So all of you, I think my, respect and, my best wishes to all of you. Thank you so much, and God bless you both.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your insightful speech. I think a few takeaway points which really, struck me, and I think even for the rest of us here, was the word that you used as violence is a cowardly act.
Pidan dukan marbam, ndey. Compare like a barid, kaba pidi harut surok, ni kabahe, kumki restaurant, bat kiway, ni pishat roti, shat cake, bat kiway, nakabenta kakoy kakya, jongi pat ba, nong bam nong di. Pat ba pinyo ka Jingshah naki, pidan kam bandon deka license kapapaka, kabala itu dakaan, kata, ka Food Safety and Standards Act arajar henril, link back a section, like puway, iway. Kamde ka ba ba pinyo ka license, pila ba na-apply ka online, link back website, foscas.fssai.gov.in, daga ba pihap pan-upload ru, ikot kisla badan kam, kat kum kajat jingkam, jong pi. Pila ru banyak kendo, iki designated officers lani food safety officers, kebadan hak office terekam, jong u lani ke district medical and health officer, habarok ke district, kebadan ha Meghalaya, latno, tang ha is kasihers, pila ban letbed, siya ka office terekam jongki, ka Commissionerate of Food Safety, kebadan halowa lachumya. Nakabenta ka kot kakya, kinong bam nong di, lawan rasya pi, daga Commissionerate of Food Safety, Government of Meghalaya, bat balakershan daga Food Safety and Standards Authority of India.